Introducing first, to my right, making his Southern Underground Pro debut, from Cleveland, Ohio, he is the man at war, Zach Thomas!
You come in here. You want some? Oh, okay, then shut your mouth, all right? Shut up. Okay, then don't talk, man. You want to come in here, shut up. All talk, no action, right? I don't want to be in here. Flip, flop, chop! 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 Come on, flip, flop, chop! Okay.
And his opponent, no stranger to Southern Underground Pro, he is the master of the flip-flop chop, Bikini Bottom's most dangerous man, Cabana Man Dan!
All right, Stephen, we're kicking things off here. We got Zach Thomas, a guy making his name in the Cleveland area, AIW kid, as they say, taking on Cabana Man Dan, a veteran, a wily veteran, and a huge fan favorite here in this singles matchup, the first of the night here at All Eyez On Me. What are your thoughts about this matchup going in? Who do you think's got the advantage in this one?
Well, first of all, if that wasn't the loudest pop of the night so far for Cabana Man Dan, I don't know what was. I mean, you've got two very drastic different styles here. Zach being more of a brawler coming in, and he's, I was talking to him earlier today, and the whole man at war thing plays with that. He's at war with professional wrestling as a whole, because he's tired of being disrespected by the so-called vets for things that are bad in the world of professional wrestling that he has nothing to do with. Because all he's wanting to do is just make it a better place for himself and everybody else.
Well, he just
needs to be misunderstood.
He just made it a worse place for Cabana to get down with that elbow. He is very, very young, but also extremely powerful. If you look at him, guys with that build are very, very hard to compete against just in general. It's very hard to get him down to the mat. It's very hard to utilize technique against him because of the broadness of his shoulders. So the power in this, look at that technique though. Look at that better wow by Cabana Man Dan. Excellent backslide. I think that's going to be the story as he goes maybe for a Lamont Shark cradle. Yes, sir. Dude, very close. That is going to be the story to watch here. Is it going to, look at this, look like a quarter Nelson takeover. Excellent wrestling technique. And I gotta say, that to me is gonna be the story of this match. The power of Zach Thomas versus the precision wrestling and wily technical ability of Cabana Man Dan. Thomas.
Cabana may be new to everybody's eyes from Southern Underground Pro. He's been here pretty much every show this year, but he's a wily veteran.
Yes, sir, he is.
Oh.
And he just creamed him with one of those flip-flops. Drop toe hold into the apron. We've got this low pony boy style ring here. And we've seen guys utilize it before. We've got, wait a minute.
The fans, the flip-flops.
Fans.
It's a fan flop.
My God. Some of these fans are lighting him up. The Ric Flair of flip-flops, distributing his flip-flops to the Southern Underground Pro faithful.
Now, the last time we were here, the Crawfish Dad, Crawdad, I'm so amazed by what I just saw. Tried that with fan interaction. It didn't go so well.
No.
Luckily, nobody got hurt for this one.
Yeah. We did not see a fan take a flip-flop this time. Fortunately, look at this nice counter up. Almost a stunner variation. Straight into side Russian leg sweep, rather. Floats over. Hold on to that head and that arm. He's got both trapped. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Into another pinning attempt. Great technique. That's really been the bread and butter of Dan so far, Steven.
Yeah, and I haven't seen this out of him before. Obviously, he knows he's looking for his first singles win at Southern Underground.
Well, we talked about this earlier. We talked about the situation with the tag team title tournament going on. And with this big matchup coming tonight between Brett Eisen and Marco Stunt for the Bone Storm title. There's now a situation where that number one contendership is things that a lot of the singles wrestlers can keep their eye on that. Maybe that's something they can shoot for. Big spine buster, dead center of the ring, though.
That could be it.
So all these guys are thinking about 1, 2, nope, very close. All these guys right now, they're thinking about, can we get into the title picture? I mean, it is a viable possibility that somebody like a Cabana Man Dan could put together a couple of big victories, and then maybe will we see they might be giants collide if Marco's able to retain, or will we see Cabana Man Dan perhaps versus Brett Eisen if he wins? Interesting matchup either way.
I'm concerned about seeing Marco versus Brett, first of all, but to add Cabana versus Brett, if it was to go that route, scares me even more.
Yeah, we do not know what to happen. Of course, that will be coming up in our main event later on tonight. The ultimate underdog story there. Look at that nice butterfly suplex into a great cradle. That was actually a very good cover. Had the hand pressed down on the shoulder and face as well. Nice jumping elbow.
I'm extremely impressed by Zach Thomas.
Look at the height that Thomas is getting there. My God. Comes off that rope, extra momentum. Oh, doubled up. Into a big splash. Wow. 2. Listen, I mean, this guy is really putting it together for a guy who's debuting here. He is really taking it to the veteran Cabana Man Dan, but Dan's fighting back. Dan relied on those cradles early, relied on that flip-flop chop. You got to wonder, what's he got left against such a big, powerful guy?
Now, we've seen some great debuts at Southern Underground before because the word has gotten out about how important it is to do well here. So Zach is definitely bringing his A game. After Cabana Man Dan dominated the first portion of this match, he's now fully in charge.
He's in total control, following through with those knees. That is a tremendous offensive technique. Very smart, well beyond his years in terms of ring smarts. And that is the second or third time we have seen him get very, very close. I will say at this point, I think maybe he's got to pull the cradles a little bit tight. Got to hook that leg a little bit deeper. He's doing those sort of Fit Finley style covers where he's really grinding in. That works, but with a smaller guy like Dan, he needs to really tighten that up because the flexibility of Dan allows him to kick out of things that a lot of other men can't. Dan going up and over, went for a sleeper, lost his footing, utilized the ropes. You know, that's a case where being such a slight guy actually plays to his advantage. He was able to brace himself on that bottom rope.
Climbing up like it's a ladder.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Counters. Oh, he's holding on. He's held on there. He's still at it. And Thomas looks like he might be fading a little bit. He decides to come up and over, though.
Come on!
And now, he is just waiting for Dan to get back up, and he's ready to cream him. Oh, God. Comes back in. Look at that Euro. Maybe going for another. This time almost a spear.
About broke him in half with
And he's sticking with it. Inside out, Sinton in the corner. Dan just crumples and falls face first to the concrete floor.
And it's smart that he made his way out of the ring,
Yes,
but I
it
don't
is.
think he did it on purpose.
It was not intentional, but that actually may have saved the match for him, at least for the time being, Steven, because if he stays in the ring and Zach Thomas is able to pull him to the center, that is almost certainly the end of the match. Zach, nice. Oh, God. Look at that. Holds him up, a Falcon Arrow, dead center, very smart ring positioning. That is,
How did he kick out of that?
I thought that was it. But Cabana Man Dan is fired up in the basement east, and this crowd has come alive for him. One of the fan favorites in this building. And Zach Thomas.
Now, Cabana, I don't know if you want to trade punches with somebody like Zach Thomas.
Maybe not, but the fact is Zach Thomas is a big guy. He may not have much left. He's throwing everything at him. And right there he runs into a big leg lariat. Look at that running elbow off the ropes.
Crowd is fully behind Cabana Man Dan.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost another level for him. We've seen his star rise, Steven, over the months. Look at that, sits him down. Here we go, mule kick. He loves that mule kick. Disorients his opponent with the impact.
The pin here.
That's such a good,
advantage while you got him down.
it's such a good offensive maneuver. Not the best cover though. He just doesn't have it in him, Steven.
He's running on fumes.
Yeah, he just doesn't have it in him. That's a tremendous offensive flurry. Coming from multiple different angles on a big guy. And let's be honest, Zach Thomas is a powerful guy, but his range of motion is going to be limited by virtue of that muscle mass he's got on him. Dan has really used that to his advantage, but at some point, you got to wonder how much is left in both of these men's tanks. Went for that sliced bread, he caught him. He caught him. Dan likes to use that sliced bread to end it. Look at this. Up and over, no, drop down. Low kick. Goes for that sliced bread again. Kicks off. Oh, look at that. Back spin kick. Yep. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, Thomas likes to use the spin out power bomb. That soul bomb. No. There you go. He cradles him. 2. That's it. A huge singles victory here at Southern Underground Pro. And All Eyes on Me for Cabana Man Dan. And I've got to tell you, Steven, Zach Thomas, a rookie and super impressive debut. But that victory for Cabana Man Dan, that puts him in an entirely different light as we head into the tag team tournament. Who knows? Maybe he'll team with his partner Marco Stein in that. As we look at the future of the Bone Storm title, who knows? Maybe Cabana Man Dan's going to be in a contender. Either way, tremendous showing for him. And let's be honest, Zach Thomas might be a little bit of a jerk, but he did awfully well for a rookie.